I got two fantastic coaches. I've been really fortunate to have the coaching team that I had for MMA. This month has been, 3 years ago I started training, and in 3 years I made an awful lot of progress. I'm very pleased with the progress that I made. I think very few people, or damn near nobody in the world, made more progress than I did in 3 years' time. And that's a bold statement, but I think it's a true statement. And I got to say that, I showed up consistently, I worked hard, but I had the best coaches possible. I had the best coaches in the world. I couldn't have done that without them. And I really, I feel, we talked about this late last night. I feel, humble and very appreciative. It's a great opportunity to be able to work with these people. It's an honor for you guys to kick my ass once in a while. And, for those that don't know, this is Glover Teixeira. Is UFC champion at 205 pounds, second heaviest weight division. Had a fantastic career at UFC. Still might go back and beat a couple people up. He's thinking about it, but he got nothing to prove to anybody. He's done fantastic, but can go back anytime he wanted to. Lyoto Machida also was light heavyweight champion, 205-pound champion at a different time at UFC. And it's a couple of the very best people in the world you could possibly work with, on striking and grappling. These guys are amazing martial artists and extraordinarily well-rounded. And it's been an honor and privilege to learn things from both of you. I appreciate you to come spend time and help me with my striking and help me with my grappling and be a little better of a martial artist myself. So thank you, and respect and appreciation to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
They have an announcement today. We've been working together a couple of years. I've been working with Glover, and maybe a little more than that. I'm not sure. We met a few years ago. He'd been training with me for at least 2 years. I think he came summer of 22 maybe, so maybe a little more than 2 years. I'm not sure. But Lyoto's been here almost 2 years, something like that, been helping me. So I'll let you guys talk about that. But again, thank you for your contributions.
So now we're gonna start another journey, because Derek was so interested in improve the whole aspect of fighting. Then we started with jiu-jitsu and ground game, which is so important. We all know that it's one of the most important things, maybe I can say like that. But also the new journey that we're gonna start to doing now is the striking part, because it's a part that I consider every fight starts when you stand up. You never start on the ground. You have to start on stand up. And I consider one of the tricky parts sometimes, but at the same time it's important, and you have to learn that. And that's our mission here with Derek, to teach him the how to strike better, and he's so will to do that. He's so willing to improve this stuff, and Glover and I, we are here to make this happen. Right, Glover?
That's it, man. It was a pleasure to work with Derek for the last 2 years. Incredible guy. Come over here. We have the reception over here of a king, and just the focus that he have, the discipline, and sometimes he say, okay, I will be better with this next time you come. And every time I come over here, yes, you improve the technique they will show you. This is I told him last night, I'm very proud of that. Make me feel honor to teach somebody like that. And as Lyoto say, we're gonna work with Derek and striking, and he's been working in striking for a while already with incredible guys like Henry Hoof and Andre Lasky, Chuck Liddell. But you already have some experience, and we will be promoting him for the belt, karate, me and Machida. I have my Hawaiian Kempo and Machida. We got together, we see the MMA fighting, because when we train striking, we train already avoid, not just straight striking, but to avoid takedowns or to go for takedowns, MMA style. And because he's in a way little advanced already. He's already advanced, so we're gonna be promoting him a few belts. All right, blue belt we got right here, yeah, and this is like the fourth belt in the Campo Karate mixed martial arts, and you well deserved there, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And also
We got the proof.
yes, you have the certificate, which is so important for us to have the certificate. So Grove and I are gonna sign here, and let me sign.
You know, I started working on striking 3 years ago. I started working with Paulie Malignaggi. He's, you know, 5-time boxing champion, and the poor man, I was 300 pounds and never worked on boxing before. And I asked Paulie if he'd come help me, and he agreed reluctantly. He said, Derek, I never coached nobody. I've never been a trainer. I said, well, you're 5-time world champion. I bet you know some things I don't know about boxing, so will you help me? And Paulie came to help me for maybe 14 months. We were working all the time, boxing. So I got, you know, good boxing foundations from Paulie. And I worked on striking a little bit with everybody, but a lot with a guy named Henry Hoof, who's one of the best striking coaches in the world, wonderful guy. And, Chuck Liddell, he helped me with some striking a little bit. Andre Arlovsky helped me a lot. Frank Muir helped me some. A lot of people helped me a little bit. Lyoto and Glover are, exceptional. They're, some of the highest level strikers, and some of these other men too, but I asked if they have the time, they would come, put a system together that we could work on, not traditional karate, but, combat fighting, MMA fighting, real world fighting. So it's not necessarily traditional karate, it's more, a mix of the best of many striking disciplines, a bit of Muay Thai or karate or Taekwondo or Dutch kickboxing, everything mixed together that just works for good, mixed martial arts striking. So, and to be clear, the other belts you've seen me with in the past this is for jiu-jitsu. So I'll have my black belt in jiu-jitsu next year, probably June, July. So I'll have my black belt next year, but this is a separate system in striking. And again, big respect to both of you. I have a lot of appreciation to both of you that you helped me so much in MMA in general. And I look forward to, working under the two of you to, advance through that system and have my black belt and someday in the future when we get through that system and get my skill set to the appropriate level. So thank you for taking the time to help me, and thank you for taking the time to help me. And that's a big commitment. That's a multi-year commitment that they're going to come here more and going to help me with my striking. And I work with other people too, but they can help me tie everything together the way that Jake does with jiu-jitsu. These are my primary coaches for striking. So I don't know if anybody else in the world has belts under two high-level UFC champions. It's an honor to do that, both for what they've accomplished in their careers, but also who they are as people. I feel very humble or very respectful or grateful. Maybe grateful is the word. I feel very grateful to have both of you to help me and teach me, and thank you for making that commitment and spending the time to share decades of knowledge that you both earned and decades of experience at the highest levels. So you both know me well, that if I say I'm going to do something, I will follow through, I will do it. So in the future I have my black belt in both, but again, thank you for taking the time and making that commitment for both of you.
Thank you, Derek. And I also like to say that every time we come over here, we see a lot of improvements because of dedication, hard work, and that's so important to mention because sometimes people just think, you're gonna have something just overnight, but it's nothing like that. You have to be very dedicated, and also every time when we join here, I learn a lot because we spend a lot of time talking too, and Derek always has a lot of things to teach us about business, about even martial arts. Sometimes we exchange position. Remember, say, no, I learned that. Okay, that's important because it's all about exchanging, about like I'm not a just because in Japanese we call sensei. We are not just sensei here. Sensei means professor. We are like friends, sensei, exchange, student too, because I learn a lot, love too, and that's important because people think like we can separate like sensei, professors here. No, that's not the way that I think. I think we are together, and I learn a lot here about everything. And thank you so much for having us here too.
Respect. Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, thank you. I think a main point I would make to people here, and you touched on this just a moment ago, is I think it's very important to earn your place in the world, that you're going to be around other high quality people, that you have a good mutual exchange, that you can help each other solve problems. If you're the one doing all the work and other people are not contributing, it's probably not the best use of your time. If you're around somebody who's doing a lot more for you than you're doing for them, it's probably not going to be sustainable because it's probably not the best use of their time. So I think the ideal relationship, ideal friendship is you have to have similar values, you have to have similar goals, and you have to have differentiated skill sets. And I've only said this for 10 years, maybe more, but when I say similar values, I mean you have like a rule set or an agreement to be honorable with each other, that I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to steal from you, I'm not going to talk funny with your wife or girlfriend or children or some crazy shit. You're going to treat each other very honorably and look out for each other, and have integrity with each other. And then similar goals. So if you have those mutual values, then you say, okay, you're going to treat me well, and I'm going to treat you well. We can trust each other. Second part, similar goals, like here we are, we're here together right now. We want to be closer over there. We want to go up there, have better result than we currently have. Right now we're here, we want to go higher, we want to do more. So we all have a similar goal, we want to go the same direction. And the third element of is having differentiated skill sets, that there's some things that are, if we're talking about finance or entrepreneurial things, there's some things that I've been doing since I was a child that's very easy for me to explain, that that you're hearing the truth, you're hearing something that is real world, that I did these things, and easy for me to explain, very low cost to me, maybe is very valuable to you, maybe is very valuable to you.
Yes.
And there's things that you've been doing since you were young that for you is easier to explain and very valuable to me. So again, when you have those three things, that you can trust each other, we both want to live a better life, we're going over there, and we can help each other. It's very easy to help each other, low cost to one person, valuable to the other person. This is a perfect friendship. This is how you want all of your relationships in your life to be, with everyone in your life. And when I see that one of those things is missing, I don't believe in the longevity of that relationship. When I see one person, you might have, if you don't trust each other, then you can't do anything together. What are you going to do together if you can't trust that person? When it's convenient for them to do something crazy, they're going to steal from you or do something weird, then you can't there's nothing else you can do. You can't be around that person. If you have different goals, maybe you can trust the person, but your goals are over here and their goals over there somewhere. All right, but we're going to different places now. So how are we going to do that together? We're going to very different places. That's not going to work so good. And if you're both good at the same thing, you both might be very talented, but if you're both extraordinarily good at the same thing, it's not going to be as valuable to each other as if you have the differentiated skill sets. So I think that's the perfect recipe for a long-term friendship. I look for those three elements in anybody that I spend a lot of time with. I want to be able to help them. I want them to be able to help me. I want us to treat each other with respect and honorably, and I want us to accomplish big goals together. So I think that's very important to have these three things.
It's like birds of feathers fly together, something like that, right?
Yes.
We have the same interests, like we do the same things, same principles. That's important because sometimes, like you said, if you have different goals, even though they have good principles, simple principles, but they have different goals too. too apart. You have to have somebody like want the same, like help you. And as I said, I learned a lot. A couple weeks ago, I was in Vegas with Derek for a seminar and was hang out together. And I asked about construction. Remember, I said, "Hey, Derek, I was thinking about do some construction." He said, "Lyoto, what do you know about construction? Have you been experienced this?" I said, "Never." I said, pay attention, man, because you can spend money like without knowing, like the guy. If you don't know how much you're gonna spend, they're gonna charge you a lot. You have to know that, and it made me think, hey, yeah, that's true, man. I cannot get involved in something that I don't know to do. Then
Today we went to the construction site, all right, and the last big project down there is I need the floor to be totally redone. There's concrete floor. We're going to put an epoxy floor there. It has to be the highest quality, the best we can make, highest quality epoxy floor. There's a lot of variance in the floor. It's in a parking garage. We're creating a parking garage, but it's going to look like a home. It's going to look like the studio or a house. It's going to be very, very nice. And the last big thing is that floor. So we're talking about the materials. We're talking about the labor involved. I don't know this other guy. I don't know the guy who's going to do the floor. The guy that does a lot of the work for me, he vouches for him. He said, "Oh, he's a good guy. I heard this, I heard that." I said, "You never worked with him before, though?" He said, "No, I never worked with him, but I hear all good things." The guy's asking me, "Hey, sign this contract and give me like $34,000 before I start." He's asking for like over $20,000 in materials and like $13,000 for labor before there's any labor or materials. And I told him, "I'm not doing that." I said, "I'll give you $12,000. If you want to show up, I'll leave a check for $12,000. And a couple of days later, if I see you show up with $10,000 in materials, I'll give you another check. Go get another $10,000 in materials." And I said, "If it's a problem, then we're not going to do this work. I'm not giving." I said, "I don't know you. I got nothing against you. I hope everything works out great for both of us. I don't know you. I'm not writing you a check for $34,000 before there's any materials or anything is happening. I'm not doing it. I'm not signing a contract that says I'm going to do it either, by the way." And he's like, "All right, that's fair. So I'll give you $12,000. Show up on Sunday. I'll leave a check for $12,000. I'll see you Monday or Tuesday in person. If I see materials are here and some work is getting done, I'll give you another check, no problem." So but you have all kinds of guys that pretend to be contractors. They don't even do anything, but they pretend that they're in that business, and they're very good at pretending. It's like very good at pretending to do this thing, and that's what they do is they go hustle people to go get a check for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and they're never even going to show up and do anything. And if you don't, now first of all, when I look at the materials list and I look at the project, I'm like, yeah, that's realistic because the materials are going to be over $20,000. So when I see that part, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But I'm not going to pay this guy for 100% of the materials plus half of the labor or something before he starts. Why would I do this? Why would I do that? So I'm not. But but I said it to the guy. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. But I'm not giving you that much money until you're here and doing something. So,
it's like we're giving you a black belt and say, "Hey, man, now you got to come and train."
Yeah.
Give you a black belt right now and say, "Okay, now we got to train for the next whatever few months, so you can get it."
It don't work that way,
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.